It's 1967 and the Miss All-America Camp Beauty pageant is about to take place in New York City, a nationally renowned drag queen beauty pageant celebrating the finalists' talents and their assets. In Frank Simon's cult documentary, The Queen, the camera observes and follows as the drag queens rehearse, recite, organise their outfits, frocks and wigs, and even the planning of the beauty pageant itself. The camera captures the joys, the tears, and the outright furious jealousies that burst after the competition is over. Within an hour, the Queen offers an insight into the queer drag queen scene America had to offer in the 1960s. The film chronicles the difficulty of organising an event of this magnitude, from the challenge of finding a hotel inclusive enough to allow drag queen contestants to stay there, to the conflicts arising behind the scenes. For example, when a young pretty drag queen named Richard loses their wig, they feel unable to complete their look for the competition and therefore feel unable to go out and perform for that night. Richard is emotionally hurt by the loss of this wig, which may be melodramatic for some. It most certainly feels melodramatic for some of the drag queens in their hotel rooms who feel Richard is overreacting because of his reputation to win every contest he enters, therefore never having experienced any losses. But when a drag performance is so essential to one's way of living, and even their main source of financial income, then it becomes a significant piece of this person's life and identity. To perform with an incomplete look is just not in this person's nature. They either give their performance their role, or they don't perform. For many in creative industries, meeting people with internal conflicts made from perfectionism and egotism isn't uncommon, and this applies to drag queen performance art too. The egotism is rife, especially during a very heated sequence toward the end of The Queen. The winner of the beauty pageant is announced, and it is Richard, causing a harsh backlash from an outspoken drag queen, expressing their disdain for the competition, the judges and Richard. It's a dreadfully uncomfortable sequence to watch as, long after the audience has left, the viciousness and the unsheathed claws are on display. Instead of being constructive, it is a barrage of insults. An older drag queen targets, belittles and insults a younger drag queen for winning a competition, demonstrating a bitterness and unprofessionalism, and probably even the reason why this specific drag queen didn't win, due to a bad-natured short temper. It's truly unfortunate that such a celebratory event embracing campness and the strength of femininity becomes an expression of bitterness and resentment, tainting and belittling what should otherwise be a wondrous win for a young performer. This is just documentation of such behaviour on a small scale, a single event, but such unprofessional outbursts and unpleasant diva-esque behaviour isn't uncommon with sore losers. However, viciousness and shadiness aside, at the best times, this community of drag performers shows a sense of solidarity and respect. When the drag queens are putting on their makeup, they do so in quiet as a shared experience for focus. Eyeliner, eyeshadow, glitter, foundation and blush are applied with the greatest attention to detail, and for this to be achieved, it must be understood that the queens do not distract each other in their application. The impact of a full face of glamorous makeup completes their outfits and looks, and is often an essential component of being a drag queen. This isn't like RuPaul's Drag Race where the drag queens are encouraged to talk for the cameras. This is an authentic glimpse into the creative process of these artists, and to share in this silence demonstrates a unified respect for their fellow drag queens, not to distract them or waste their time. Another sequence demonstrating a respect and solidarity for each other is when they discuss the military draft. Many gay men were turned away from the military simply for being gay. As some of the drag queens recount their experiences of being rejected from the draft, one drag queen expresses her disappointment as they genuinely wanted to join the military and fight for their country. This sequence demonstrates how a systemic homophobia was ingrained in the American military system, excluding gay men from joining simply for being gay. This sequence, however, demonstrates that the drag queens share a solidarity and respect for their shared experiences with systemic homophobia and how it affected them. By simply sitting around a hotel room discussing their pasts in this way, they uncover a sense of queer sisterhood. It goes without saying that systemic homophobia is still ever present in today's society. Discussions regarding acceptance of drag culture offers an engaging insight into the past experiences of these drag queens too. While some come from accepting and progressive families, one drag queen expresses how their boyfriend doesn't like seeing them in drag. The act of embracing femininity does not impress his boyfriend when he is attracted to masculinity. There is a clash for him between the masculinity expected in gay relationships and the femininity embraced via gender non-conformity. But this clash implies that being a drag queen is simply making oneself look sexually appealing. While sexuality can play a part in performing as a drag queen, sex sells, and some drag queens understandably capitalise on a heightened sex positivity in their performances. Being a drag queen actually stems historically from theatre, from Shakespeare to Japanese kabuki. The skills necessary for a drag queen, makeup artistry, dressmaking, sewing, dancing, singing, and sometimes even stand-up comedy and acting, exceeds simply making oneself pretty and feminine. When drag transcends queendom, it also incorporates drag kings into butch drag. It encapsulates a theatrical gender non-conformity and performance art. There is a strength in gender non-conformity for artists, and it is why drag still endures and is now even more popular than ever. In conclusion, The Queen is a fly-on-the-wall documentary chronicling the difficulties in organising a renowned finalist beauty pageant. For an event which should be jovial, there are tensions and there is shade. However, for every barbed passive-aggressive comment, there is twice as many moments revealing how drag and queerness can bring people together, uniting them with a sense of solidarity not offered elsewhere. These moments allow these personalities to truly shine their brightest. Away from the glitz and glamour, these drag queens demonstrate a sisterhood, whether via encouraging makeup tips, compliments on their dresses, or much needed tough love. The harsh, bitchiest lows cannot be low without the highs of queer solidarity. While drag queens are more successful than ever in mainstream pop culture today, the Queen sparkles, deserving the recognition of any and every drag queen lover.